Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on a 25-year-old from Chesterfield, England. His own hockey journey is just getting started, and he is the Shed's favorite rookie, other than Mitchell Martin. And he is set to make his hockey debut October 21st versus the Leeds Rams. But even if he is lacing them up for the first time, I wouldn't be taking it to his net, as he's breaking into the league as a 6'7" horse on the blue line. We will still cheer him on, even if he supports the fun. Oh my God, Work's calling me. What a joke. And we're right back in the shed. And I think I was at, we aren't going to hold it against him, even if he cheers for the fun banners of Sheffield. Hopefully, he got involved in Kit Kat Get That back when fun was fun in the too big and too warm orange barn. But this Shed guy isn't just known for his hockey skills. He also runs amok in the football or soccer world and is the head coach of the Santa Clara Lions, and even took his skills coaching on the road to Alaska. But he is best known as the most exciting rookie the Sheffield Knights has seen in decades. Welcome to the Shed, Dylan Bath.
Great. Thank you for your intro, and it's great to be in the shed finally.
Yeah, I guess you just saw the behind the scenes of the Shed, eh?
I did, yeah. It's very informative. Yeah,
So I do
yeah.
work in the Shed too, you know. You got to be able to do both, right?
You just proved it to me, yeah.
Well, it was like, you know, when you're playing hockey and the guy's like coming to hit you and you're like, I think I can stand on one foot, take that hit, and then spin and hit the guy in front of the net, you know? And
Yeah.
if you don't think you can do it, you can't do it, right?
No, yeah, if you just have to find a balance somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, so sometimes I gotta pause it. Sorry about that.
I I understand it's your
Uh,
job, right? So no.
right. Yeah, you gotta work when you're working. So I get into how we know each other. We first connected over my Honey Hole Instagram, eh?
Yeah, we did, yeah. I,
So
I
how'd you
think
find out about the Shed?
I think I found out on Twitter, or what it's
Mm,
called now, X.
so I guess I should use that more often, eh?
Yeah, I think someone shared it, another fan shared it, and then I got on the
Mm. That's how it works, though.
um
Word of mouth
yeah,
hockey family, right? But
yeah. And
yeah,
obviously it's that small, isn't it? That if you hear about it, you're gonna
well,
spread it, aren't you?
yeah. Well, if the people that are into it that support me, that is how all this has happened, and it's pretty neat what's happened in my Shed. Just talking out here is, um, I think it's like almost 90 countries have listened now, and I know of other ones people have told me they've listened in that don't show up on that list, and man, it just makes my heart want to explode, you know?
Yeah, it's a fantastic thing you've done from, just as you say, just talking in your shed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's actually what it is.
I know, but I think now it's much more than just talking in the shed, right?
Well, it's become that we can help out some people that we want to. And you know, I'm even sponsoring a captain of a professional hockey team, the Chocolatey
The wrong
Manchester
team.
Storm, right? Oh, I couldn't pay those Sheffield bills. How much do they charge for their jersey? It's got to be through the roof.
I have no idea, but I know just to get a replica, it's about £75. But,
Um,
but
well, to be a sponsor is quite a bit more than that. So there's a raffle at aleshockeytales.com. We're raffling off 5 Ryan O'Reilly signed pucks from when I was helping train with him in the summer on the ice. And we got your captain, the best looking guy in the EIHL nowadays, now that Lee Salters has retired. Robert Dowd's signed t-shirt of the whole new Steelers team, and that's to raise money for Rich Bateman's Road to Recovery, right?
yeah, I believe so. I believe that's up there. Yeah.
So those raffles are at aleshockeytales.com. So get involved, folks. There's a Sheffield one and a Ryan O'Reilly signed pucks, right?
Yeah.
Get involved, Shed family. People helping people. It's a powerful
That's
thing,
all
right?
it's, yeah, that's all it's about, isn't it?
Well, so the fun banners of Sheffield, though, you guys are part of my hockey family. Like with the guy who got the signed t-shirt from Dowdy, Dave Wilcock, Shed guy that bike 600 kilometers for Rich Bateman. He's the guy that got this t-shirt. And then when I see then the other fella come out of the woodwork and give a Two Ales and Hockey Tales jersey to Rich when they got there after the 600-kilometer bike ride, it's like, wow, my talking in my shed has become a thing, right?
Yeah, I can't even ride 1 mile, let alone 600. So it's
Right? On your gooch that whole time, man. He's probably still tender down there.
possibly, I'd
Yeah.
imagine so.
But it can really like almost make your heart pop when you see that stuff happening at the Sheffield Arena. And like, you didn't even play in Sheffield. And then to see all that fun happening and people being nice to each other, it,
Yeah,
that's cool.
we're a unique community, aren't we? The hockey community, really.
Right? And then the shed community is even smaller. It's like a cult I've started.
It's certainly got some force behind it, hasn't it?
Yeah. People helping people. It's a powerful thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
So anyways, get your raffle tickets. And another way we know each other is you were thinking of cheering for the Storm. You're starting to get into it, aren't you? You're starting to catch the bug that's happening in Manchester. Their next game's like sold out against your Orange squad.
I know. Yeah, that was just. I was listening to the episode with Matt, Jake, and Mosey there, and I was in a shop or a store, so I just brought the 3 chocolate bars that I knew were shed chocolate bars, and
Right?
pretty much ate them in that 5 minutes after them. So, but never going to convert me. Never.
No way. You're orange through and through. You bleed orange.
Yeah, yeah,
Really? Um,
yeah.
well, do you know this was a fun fact that I was going to try and surprise you because I know he's your buddy, but Tomo, I reached out to him today to see if he wanted to jump on later on and like surprise you and say hi, but he's on the road today, or he said he'd 200% have done it, but he was gone for work, so he couldn't do it, but that would have been fun, eh?
That would have been fun. I would have loved that, and I thank you for the idea. Thank you for doing that as well.
Well, fun is fun. I know what fun is. I know how to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was busy today. So, just from messages, you are starting to play hockey for the Sheffield Knights. And just because my brain works interesting ways, you're number 44. Is that because of Tomo?
yes, it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted
cool when
number
somebody wears your number because of them. Like, look behind me. There's Ra's number 18 jersey up in my shed.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard about all these players that wore your number. Yeah, it was actually going to my number was actually going to be 25. That's the number I originally wanted because of Steve Munn, another worthy shed guy who you should get on. He was
Steve
at
Munn, eh?
he was at the Steelers when I started watching. I'm friends with him as well, and that's where my first choice of number came from. But unfortunately, it was taken.
So you're telling me Tomo's just your second get pick then,
No,
eh?
Tomo, no,
Hey,
no,
Tomo, don't listen to this, buddy. Cover your ears. This is gonna hurt, right?
no. But I'm grateful just to know the great shed guys that I've got to know through hockey. So
And I think that's one experience that the UK league and like it is the fans over there's NHL to them, right? Like that is their team. That's their passion. It's not the NHL. That's when the games are on. And there is much more interaction with the kids in that league compared to like the NHL or any league anywhere really. Um, Shed guys in particular, but there's much more interaction with the fans and the kids, right?
yeah, I just think we just do a great job in Britain of like putting on bowling nights and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like really interactive. That and yeah, yeah, you're right. They are totally they're NHL stars to them.
That you
So
like
yeah,
kids around here think NHL stars are like these special people that are like different, right? Where um I try to teach people that they're all just normal, just like the rest of us. Like they're just normal people. And I think that's what British hockey does is the guys are just normal. They act normal. They go bowling with the fans, they do all
yeah,
that stuff. I drank a couple pints with some fans too while I was in Wales. Just
and some
just a
interesting
couple.
footnotes. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
have loved to find the wall for those.
It was actually like going to your barn was one of the more memorable days as a devil, probably for me.
Yeah, I wish you'd stop bringing that final up.
I'm not talking about that one.
Yeah, I was there that night.
Oh, were you? I had a
Yeah,
great time that night.
I know you did, but I had a great
Yeah.
um time the game after when we
Oh
got
yeah.
11 goals. So
When you won the league then.
yeah,
Yeah. I remember that game too. It's like the exact opposite of winning is watching the other team win.
exactly. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it a fair few times with the Steelers in 17 years. So
Right. So you've been a fan for 17 years, eh?
yeah,
It's a long time.
it is. I've seen it change. I've seen
You're only
own.
25, so you started when
Yeah,
you were 8.
yeah.
How'd you go to your first game? Who took you?
My granddad, he worked for a company in Sheffield called Liberator,
Oh yeah?
and he got a chance to sponsor the Steelers or an Olympian. He chose the Steelers, and Liberator sponsored the Steelers for a couple of seasons, and I got all the benefits I could get from that. Really.
Yeah. So
Oh
you got to
yeah,
go to the games and
yeah,
so back then it wouldn't have been in the big fancy arena that it's in now, right?
yeah. It would have. Yeah,
Oh,
we've
so they've been in that barn the whole time, eh? They never
yeah
started
we
in that
just
little one beside with the curling rings?
we played at I Sheffield when Sheffield Arena wasn't available.
Right. But that doesn't happen anymore, eh?
It's happening for the playoff home leg because Take That are coming next year to Sheffield Arena. So
'Cause what?
there's a band called Take That. I've got the arena the night we are meant to be playing our home in the game.
Seriously? So
Yeah,
you guys aren't gonna play you get one playoff game at home and you're not gonna play it in your big barn?
no,
That's funny.
no, yeah.
That's funny though. Haha.
And I have to thank you on this podcast. I actually forgot that I was at both beating Hein games when you came over.
Really?
Yeah,
I definitely, yeah, I ran amok that weekend. That was my first weekend on my new team, my second year in Germany, and that was my best year I ever played of hockey. And that was when me and Big Sexy played together, and that was our first weekend together. And I tell you, chemistry was instant.
yeah. I can imagine, and all the evidence of the podcast has suggested that.
It was fun though. And that was a pretty fun weekend for a German team to come to Sheffield. And I tell you, we ran amok that night too, on and off the ice.
uh, Knowing you through the podcast and just who I've heard you are from fans of Cardiff as well, I can believe that.
I don't know what people are saying. It's probably not true.
No, it all matches up to what you've spoke to other players about. Really,
Well, when you get to fly over to the UK League for a weekend and see Sheffield and then get to go out and you don't fly out till later the next day, you could really have a time.
I can't remember. I think we lost. I think we lost both games.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
winning's fun.
even in pre-season.
Our team was that was a squad though. Like we had 4 lines of players. We had like 7D that could all play that. Our 7th D went to the DL the next year. So it was a squad. And then your team, I believe, had just flown in and like literally had just got off the plane and put on the wheels and played us.
Yeah, because I don't think at that time we had pre-season like weeks like we do now. I think it's just, as you said, just jump off the plane straight on into the ice and then
And
playing
then
the
they
game
just get after it where we would go to Germany and train like
for that month.
more than a month. It was disgusting. I don't even want to talk about
Okay,
it. We were so itching to play that preseason game just so we could take the running shoes off and put skates on, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
It, I know. Also, the plan is next year to head to Germany and Denmark to watch a few games. So
Well, that would be cool. You'll have
yeah,
to, you got to get some 2 Ales and hockey tails gear to wear for your trip then.
yeah, I do. And I've also got to sort out that sticker as well for my own bucket.
That's right. And folks, we do have clothes available at aleshockeytails.com, right? And we're also going to get more jerseys made and stuff. So if people are into it, let me know because seeing pictures of people in 2Ale stuff at hockey barns around the world is pretty neat from your shed in Kincardine, right?
Yeah, I'd love a jersey. To be fair, yeah,
Well, there you go. And I think we're gonna do it where you can just buy them, or we'll keep raffling them. But I think you can buy them. My sponsor, right, Neil Parker. I don't remember what episode he was, but he's the one that has fronted me these jerseys to get things going and make fun. So thank you, Neil, for everything you do for me. And we do have more jerseys coming in hot.
That's really exciting. Like I've seen them around Sheffield Arena as well, and it's just like
That's
they know,
cool, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
they know their shed guys, right? Yeah, they
Oh,
know
and
what.
does the Shed family like just look at each other and be like, Shed family? Do you like ever say
Uh,
something to each other at the barn?
if I
Like,
if I did that to people wearing the shed jerseys, I think they'd look at me a bit more weird than they already do.
no way. If you said Shed family to a guy wearing a two L's and Hockey Tales jersey, he'd know exactly what you're talking about. He'd probably give you a hug.
If there's a
That's
shed guy,
hockey family. You imagine Sheffield and Cardiff fans getting along and they nodded at each other and said Shed family? That'd be cool.
yeah,
And Manchester fans too. I got a big family now.
you have, yeah,
Got way bigger.
yeah. I wish I would have some more Steelers players on personally, but
Well, you can't. When I'm a sponsor of a team, I got to be careful who I'm shed boosting,
yeah, you can.
right?
By
I
all
got a
means,
Sheffield Knight on today. That's not a
yeah,
Steeler.
yeah,
I got to get Dowdy on though, and Tansy again, because since I had Tansy on when he was in Denmark, and now that he's mucking it up big time in the UK league, and he looks like he's having fun and playing with passion. I'd like to chat with him again, and also Dowdy for the raffle. We gotta blow the doors off of this raffle for Rich Bateman, right? So we gotta get the new captain in, eh?
yeah. Scored. Tansy scored, and Dowdy scored against the Storm.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, so
Yeah, shed guys score. I mean, can't control them all the time, right?
yeah. What surprised me was how good Evan is in goal.
Yeah,
Like,
that was some of like just looking through my device. There's a lot of people mentioning he was really kicking them out the first couple periods.
yeah, he was definitely keeping them in the
Yeah,
game.
well, and he's a beauty. I really enjoyed that guy. Good chat. I like a goalie that like a shed guy goalie, man. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Just back there doing his thing, running amok, right? So
Well, and he just wants to be a good teammate that like you can tell that just the boys are going to want to play hard for him. When you got when a goalie is like buddies with everybody and everybody's friends with him and everybody wants to block a shot a little bit more, everybody wants to get in the way of that puck just a little bit more for each other, but also for the goalie. It is a thing in hockey.
I can believe you.
It's like Bouncy too in Cardiff. Everybody wants to block a shot for that guy.
I've got mixed opinions on Bouncy. I love him in a GB shirt, but when he's playing for Cardiff and Sheffield,
Mm.
I'm not the biggest fan. So he always
Well,
seems to stand on his
yeah.
head.
Well,
So,
it would have been pretty neat for him to when he had grown up in Sheffield and had left and become a starter in Cardiff to come back and win that Challenge Cup game that we
yeah,
got carried away after the game.
yeah. I'd love to know that hotel you got banned from, but obviously you're not going to say. So
I actually have no idea what it was called. All the hotels looked the same by the end of it, right?
that deep in your pints.
Well, I mean, you go to enough towns that you just like it's another hotel. You just rock in and go to bed.
Yeah, yeah, sleep for a few hours.
Yeah, but I know they can't go back there. I do know that. Fun times, right?
Yeah, and that's what I love about the pod. It's like it allows me to, and all the other listeners to actually get a real good idea of what you guys do as pros.
Right.
And
When
yeah,
and then there's been the chats in Germany where I've had German folks reach out to say they only get what the team puts out there, right? The
yeah,
you could almost call it just the propaganda that they don't get to hear what actually goes on with guys' contracts and the shady side of German hockey. And
yeah,
I've had fans thank me that they had never heard our side before. And I think that's neat,
yeah.
changing the hockey world one day at a time.
Yeah, particularly when you know those players so well, and you've played on the same team or against them, and you know so well, and then they open up to you.
Well, and it helps that I played in a lot of the countries too, right? Maybe it was a good thing that I'm not for everyone and everybody asked me to kindly leave, was then I got to go experience all these different countries.
Yeah,
But like it's like that I know a bit about the Steelers history and background was because I went over and played against them with Bietigheim, was I knew who was on the team then. And you play 2 games against a team, you remember which players could play just from one weekend.
yeah, and I think we were successful at the end of that season as well. So it might have been the double we got league and playoff double we got that year
Right.
off the top of my head.
Well, you guys had a good squad. It was like Joe Talbot was there and yeah, well, Twinkle Toes, Jono was there too, way back then.
He's, it's weird now him not being on the squad and
It would be weird.
like all 17
And he's
years.
still playing hockey, the
He
punk.
is, yeah.
Yeah, with what they're called the Steel Dogs.
Yeah, the Steel Dogs, yeah. He's got like 4 points in his first 3 games or something like that, or still.
Yeah, well, he can still do it. Like that guy's gonna be in shape his whole life, you know?
And I think he's got quicker.
Really, eh? Did he let
Yeah.
his toes breathe? Did he get a bigger size pair of skates and say, well, don't have to keep the skates this tight and not as big?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask him that, but
I was planning on having him in once he had a taste of the real world for a few months, and then I was gonna ask him like how much he was missing it, but now he's still playing. He doesn't miss it.
no. But to be fair, I think when you take hockey away from a hockey guy and a shed guy, they're not injured and they're as fit as they are.
They're gonna
You're gonna find a
play.
way of keep playing.
But like I didn't want to. Like when I come around here, there's nowhere for me to play that like I'd want to play. But like having the Steel Dogs around, that would be good for him. But my body was pretty broken. I did it for a few years, and then my body was too broken to do that real hockey anymore.
And now you're running amok in the coaching world, aren't you?
Well, I'm doing my best every time I go out there, you know. But yeah, it's really fun. I love it. I actually have a huge passion for coaching, and I think I'm doing well at it. But you know, time will tell, see where it all goes. But I sure like building a team and trying to win stuff. But
Yeah,
seriously, if you think about it, when I think out loud, it's like you see coaches getting fired and stuff. And then I start thinking to myself, I'm like, could you imagine if a team someday was like, Wally, we want you to build a team of shed guys. And I'd be like, holy moly, who the fuck's gonna beat us?
yeah.
Seriously,
Good luck to the other teams in that league.
right? And then I was coaching it and I got to like we got to just start running amok. That would be something else. But
Yeah, it would be
I'm
lovely.
practicing all my coaching now. I tell you this, every season so far has been totally different, different vibe, different kids to get to know, different parents to get to know. But I think so far from the feedback is that I've built a lot of shed guys and gals that love hockey and want to get better at it.
That's why it starts with great coaching, isn't it?
Well, I think it starts with people wanting to play and enjoying being there, right?
Yeah, it's fun's the number one thing.
Well,
If
and if
you,
if you don't want to get better and you don't like being there, you're not going to want to stay there to get better. You're going to want to leave because it's not fun.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you're not gonna want to do it, are you?
No.
So
And then like how do you run amok if you don't have a smile on your face?
you can't.
You can't. No.
No, you can't. That's all.
Yeah. So that's what I tried to do. But like at this age with under 13s, like I haven't been able to be just fun guy all the time. I got to like keep this age group in line and like make sure they're into it and listening and like that like when we go out to practice, like it's not all just ha 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 now. Like when you go out there, you got to get better. Then we can have
Yeah, it's
fun.
like working, isn't it? It's like working on stuff in the
Yeah.
practices rather than
If you get 50 minutes, you got to go out there and get after it. And then you can joke around in the locker room after that you got after it, right?
yeah. There's a time and a place, isn't there? Like I'm
You got to
sure you.
work hard and play hard, right? That's my
Yeah,
motto. That's running amok.
yeah, it is, and
It's like that call we got there when I was in the middle of the intro, right? I worked hard and now I play hard for lunch.
yeah, yeah. You're wanting to talk to rookie who's just started the sport playing it, and it's like I've only been going like a month, and it's like he really wants to talk to me.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, you're shed guy.
yeah,
I can tell from our messages back and forth that just I can tell that you get hockey and you get what it's about just from the messages we've had back and forth. You know?
yeah, and it's
And you
nice.
you decided to start playing hockey because you said you heard it was fun. And it's like to think that I have something to do with you enjoying life more and finding a new passion. Like I said, from talking in my shed, that's neat.
Yeah, I think also because I've been working out in the gym a lot more. I think also I needed to find a sport that they that can help me do well in. So hockey was
You
it.
just started working out and then you're like, oh, I better, now that I'm a machine, I better use this machine.
Yeah, now that I actually know what this machine can do,
Is
let's
that
get
right?
playing.
Well, I got hurt putting on my socks this week, so there you go. I guess you're becoming an athlete and I'm not.
I guess I've got time before my feet start hurting and struggle to get socks on in the morning. So
Well, yeah, you're only 25, but yeah, I really jarred the back there. So much so I had to cancel my skills day this Sunday because I couldn't put on my socks. So should probably start exercising again. But when do you find time to do that and 340 episodes, right?
I have no idea.
I'd have
Like
to
you
be
said,
exercising while talking. I can't do that. Can't do both at once.
no, you can't. You should do a pod on the run. See what that does.
Yeah, right. Nobody wants to listen to that shit. Ugh, gross. So where and what are you doing now?
I'm just at home in Chesterfield. I've got practice tonight in Sheffield or Rotherham, and I'm just currently off work right now, and
What do you do for work?
I'm in a warehouse currently,
Yeah.
shifting boxes for 12 hours a day, 4 on 4 off. So without that, I wouldn't be able to get into this hockey world. So
So 4 on, 4 off, you're talking days. So then you got to work some weekends and you got to
yeah,
miss hockey and stuff. Or like, what are the hours? Are you day shift or are you like 12-hour shifts?
I'm like 12 hours, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah, that's a full day.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm. Yep.
It's not the funnest work, but it allows me to do things like we go to games and play. So for now,
Right.
it's okay.
Yeah. Well, you got to work hard to play hard, right?
Yeah, as I've just heard, and it makes sense to.
Well, you got to do the work before you get to play, right? So
Yeah,
that's like every time I won a championship, it really got away from me because it was really hard work. So I had to play
yeah,
just as
but I
hard.
enjoy it.
So every time it got away from me.
Yeah, gotta enjoy
So
it.
what,
Though.
yeah, what are you guys working on in a ball hockey practice? You guys got like systems
Uh,
or are you just doing skill stuff?
um, mainly system stuff. How we want to play against Leeds
You guys
and the
adjust based on
PK.
who you're playing against? You guys don't just worry about your system and the other teams can go fly
Right
good.
now, it's a combination of our system and how they play, but it's like a bit of both everything.
Jeepers, you
Power
guys got a lot of strategy going on here.
power play and penalty kill,
Is that
which
right?
yeah, I love the power. I don't like the power play because I don't know where to stand on it, but PK, I love a PK.
You like a PK, you like to muck it up around your net and just giving people whammies in the bottom,
Yeah,
like top of the hip right there. You know, you can give them some whammies there. That'll piss some people off.
don't get me in the box as well, no doubt.
Well, if you do it, you can do it without taking a penalty if you just give them the little ones, right? But
Yeah, and there's
power
also
play, maybe talk to your coaches. Maybe they want a 6'7" guy just standing in front and you can work on your tips, right? Get your butt cheeks right in the goalie's face, give him some butt sandwiches.
I had mentioned that to them, and that's further down the line, and
Either that or
uh,
you can, if you got the skills, man, if you've been working on your stick handling, we'll put you at the top on the power play and you can just throw your tits into some slap shots.
that probably will come down the line, if I'm honest. And also, we've been working on individual skills as well. I think I need to say that. So we're not just doing systems.
Right. Yeah, you have to work on that stuff. So you got to
Yeah.
be. So you have to run though. Like you don't even get to glide on shoes.
Yeah, I prefer to run because if I got onto the ice, I'd look like Bambi.
Is that right? You can't skate. You've been a
Yeah.
fan for 17 years and you can't skate. Did you know
Yeah,
the
you're
the Manchester Storm team of Shed guys are having a skate with the Storm after the match? So you could chuck on your wheels after you chuck some chocolate at Manchester.
I'd be the guy with the penguin. I
I
literally
love the guys with the penguin. It looks so ridiculous. Why is it a penguin? In
I have
Canada, we
no
use chairs
yeah.
or
I'd
like
rather
the
have chairs.
tripod thing. A penguin, though, it's almost like they're making fun of you. Like, here, come get a penguin.
Yeah. Me and ice. Yeah.
We're gonna make you push a penguin around the ice. That's how bad of a skater you are. It's mean.
And
Sit in
wear
a
the
chair
and wear those blue skates, right? As well.
and the blue skates. Those are embarrassing. Like, how's anybody gonna enjoy their time on the ice with blue skates on like that? Unbelievable. And everybody
I
goes public skating.
can't imagine. Yeah. It's like it's like some kind of mass brawl kind of thing on the ice, isn't it?
Oh, and then if they got the ice disco going and they get the music pumping, right? That's when people really get into it.
Yeah.
That's
A bit like that roller hockey disco. I
Do you
had
know
an extra practice for the whole.
well, to be fair though, the people with the penguins, you know what? Keep using the penguins if you need them because over there I also saw the people that weren't using penguins that really should be. And man, there's some wild wipeouts, right? Like it didn't look safe to be out there, even if you could skate. There's people everywhere and erratic people that couldn't skate and would just run into the boards, run into people, wild times. And we're back. Don't know what's going on with your internet, dude. Are you okay?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm good.
All right. I don't know where we were at, but I remember when you first got into this hockey thing, you messaged me about any stick handling drills. Did you do what I told you to do?
I do what you told me to do. Yeah, I do, and it's helping.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's actually if I wouldn't have got myself injured trying to put on my socks, that's what my skills days usually is a lot of actually what Lordo used to do on our skills days in Cardiff to start. But anyways, the stick handling stuff I tell them to do is what I sent you to do. You stick handle out front as fast as you can, as wide as you can, your forehand side, your backhand side, Then you got to do some
yeah.
spinaroonies between the legs, a little je ne sais quoi.
It's interesting because most of the time I when you first sent me them, and thank you, I practiced with a smaller stick,
Yeah.
and now I've got a stick that looks like a lamppost, and I'm trying to stick handle with that. It's a little bit different,
Why is your stick like a lamppost?
just because it's nearly the same height as me.
Yeah. So for my experience, just if you want to know, um, I think people get used to shorter sticks. You get better at stick handling with shorter sticks. And then as you get used to a shorter stick and stick handling with it, you can just gradually keep getting longer and longer sticks until like by the end of my career, I could do all the stick handling stuff, but also with a stick that was like up to the top of my head because I had worked my way up to that
Yeah.
I also was losing a step each season. So I had to get a longer stick so I would still win the race to the puck, right?
Yeah, and also my flex was a bit too much in the small stick as well. So
Too much with a small stick. Small sticks usually are stiffer.
yeah, they were like it was like 102 flex. Like for someone who's not picked up a stick, it's a bit of a challenge. So it's now the new one's about 80 flex right now, I think.
That sounds like that's very flexible.
Yeah, it is.
So you're just doing wicked twisted wristers then or what?
Yeah, I've been advised to use the flex and hit the foot hit before the ball and kind of follow through the ball. So
I'd be curious to listen to the coaching that goes on over in the UK ball hockey scene.
yeah, it would be interesting, like be a fly in the wall, right?
Well, it's just interesting because I saw like some minor hockey practices in Cardiff or adults playing hockey, and I was just like, whoa, what's this? You know, that's all. You don't tell me you're frozen again. Are you still there?
Yeah,
Oh,
I bet you're not. You're still here.
yes, I am. I
I'm
can
still here.
hear you. I can hear you.
I'm
Now we're good. Hey, so anyways, um, what I got was why the Steelers. I guess that's the closest team, and that's because of the sponsorship, right?
yeah, and it's because of my gran and granddad who went to the Steelers long before I was born. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's all roads lead to the Steelers.
Well, I was looking back through our messages to see what we've talked about because there's a lot going on these days. Just that was the research team getting hot this time. You sent me that the preseason this year, Sheffield had 9,000 fans at a preseason game.
Yeah, it was unreal. It was
Well,
it,
and that's pretty neat. So if anybody's listened to me, I would say cheaper tickets with a full barn is way more fun for everybody in the arena and the players, than more higher price tickets and an empty barn. That sucks.
yeah, and
So
it
well done,
was
Sheffield there, packing that bitch in a
the
preseason, right?
first time we got to see the team play, and it was just a really good game. Goals on an empty arena, right?
Yeah, nobody wants an empty arena. And your internet sucks. But anyways, that arena is huge, and people wonder, like, I'm sure Cardiff is like, how is Wally only talking to Storm guys and sponsoring their captain, and he's a devil? And it's like, well, when you look at their barn and you look at all the people and all the money coming in and like all the different stuff they got going on, and then you look at Sheffield and you think, well, 9,000 fans times £10 a ticket is what? And then it's like, so, well, I mean, I'm just trying to make sure the league's competitive. I like competing, and the shelter is a great barn, and but they can't make the money that those other teams can in that little barn. And I'm just trying to help out so all the shed guys get to compete, right?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's like you'd like money spread across equally, wouldn't you, on the league?
I think that would be fun, but no, I'd rather like Manchester Cardiff have more now.
Yeah, they
Uh,
do. Yeah,
but no, like money does matter, but like I like to prove people wrong, and I think Manchester has a squad of really great dudes that are young, up and coming pro guys, and they also have Critch and these other leaders. I think they have everything they need to do great this year, and they remind me of the Cardiff Devils 2014-15 that like legit had been a ninth place team the year before. Everybody was up in arms. We get new owners, but like we were a lower budget team that year. We weren't paying guys much, and we almost won the league, you know?
yeah. It was weird seeing Cardiff finish ninth and then go on this unbelievable run of trophies and success from then.
Well, and like to think of Lordo recruiting that team in 2014-15 that like he got Joey Martin there, he got Andrew Hawthorne there. Like he got some legends for that club. Bouncy's first year as a starter. He the people he brought in that became foundations of their dynasty was like it's amazing how fast he put that team together in like 6 weeks, and then those are the guys he got, bunch of misfits,
It was mind blowing that when you said only 6 weeks to recruit a team.
right?
Yeah,
When I think about that, like but then I thought about like how fast it happened with me going there. It's like I was at my cottage right here. I get I send out my email, I get one back from Todd, and then I go in, research the team a bit where there's Wi-Fi back then. And as I'm doing that, I'm like, so the coach is Andrew Lord, and I'm like, Jesus, I just played against him. Like that guy's gonna be my coach. He's younger than me, and I'm like, this is weird. And anyways, then I talk with him, and Lordo and I have our chat, and we had battled against each other, and then I was looking at this house with my wife, and Colby was a little buck. The day we were looking at this house was the day I signed with the Cardiff Devils. And it's very interesting how all these things have happened along the way. And now the shed is here, and I bought that house the same day I signed with Cardiff, who is the team that brings me back for Wally night, that then makes me realize I can be myself.
Yeah, and I guess it was that moment which was really good for you because that spurred this whole shed.
Yeah, it did. Well, it did. And it it yeah made me realize that it wasn't that bad of a thing to be myself. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can be a lot though, and I'm not for everyone.
I haven't experienced it. Maybe a testimony I will, but from what I've heard, it's you're there. What fun is?
Okay, anyways, poster pics. You the first time I ever saw you in a picture, you sent me a picture and you said the captain of captains. And it was you with twinkle toes, eh, Jono? Holy moly, get better internet, UK.
Yeah, and I think just he for me is the as a I'm here
Holy,
still.
you are here, but you were cutting out there. You're gonna say he's the epitome of a shed guy, probably, because he is.
Yeah, he he 100% is, and on his last game, I was crying when that special intro was played. I still watch it to today, and it's still a bit too much emotionally.
Yeah, you can imagine what it's like for him.
I can, but
So, that brings back a memory for me was the there was the Wally night one, which obviously was shocking, and like I couldn't even believe it. I thought I was just going out to drop a puck. And then they have a whole video on the Jumbotron that's like, whoa. And like I still have that video, and it's pretty gosh darn neat to have something like that. But then the year my knee goes, and then I act like a donkey the rest of the year and do my best to help the team win and get spray painted naked and do pregame speeches and all that fun stuff. Um, we do piss it down our leg. We lose in the playoffs, and we're having our awards banquet or whatever. And Todd just said, "Hey, Wally, you ready to cry tonight?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Because I'm like, I'm not up for any awards. I didn't even play. And then like they did do a video tribute for me and Marshy, because we were both retiring, and we went out on the red carpet. Colby came with me, and then they played a video tribute. And it's like people that know how to hockey do that for people, and hockey players appreciate that. And for to go out of hockey that way, getting a video tribute on a jumbotron, other than finding out you didn't get a contract some summer and then all of a sudden you just realize you're in the real world, it was like it was a good way to end it.
yeah, after thinking probably, I guess in Germany, you as you've already said earlier on, when you were sure you were staying, right? I bet that is not the way you wanted it.
Well, it's weird to think I just have never been back. I didn't know if I'd be going to Germany or somewhere else. But yeah, it's the hockey world can just be over in an instant if you don't get the contract or whatever it is. There's a lot of ways it can just be over, but it was a nice way to end it with a video. And I'm sure Jono really appreciates what the Steelers did for him because like they gave him a car, right?
Yeah, he 100% deserves every bit of good fortune in the future and reward and his name and number to be remembered for
They
the rest
say
of
good
his
things happen to good people, and he's about as good as people get.
Yeah, and it's just like you you don't realize how good a person or a player he was until I guess until he's gone Like
Until
now,
he's yeah, when he's not out there. And yeah, when he in pro hockey, a lot of it is finding consistency and playing the same way every night and not having the really good game and then the really bad game. Is like Jono played the same way every time. Every time you were going out to play the Steelers, you knew it was going to be a battle because he was going to get that team going because he was going to
yeah,
play the same way and he was going to compete every night.
it's it's funny. I was in California when they had that GB game, and you could hear exactly what he said.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
over here in England, apparently it had been like muted, so they couldn't hear her. And it was just like, okay, Johnny, you're ready for this?
He said it on TV. Yep, the C word. He called the other team the C word. He didn't mean it. He would just want to compete, right?
Yeah, you you,
He
you
didn't
love
actually think they were the C words. He was just trying to get the boys fired up, right?
you'd love to see it from a captain.
Yeah. I like his pregame speeches. I thought mine were just as legendary though, just to let him know. He said a bad word in public. I did a lot of things not in public that guys might think were pretty wild.
And I think they should stay not public.
Oh, that's 100%. They shouldn't come out ever. Anyways, next poster pick. It's outside the Barclays Center. What's that?
The Barclays Center was where the New York Islanders played before they moved into the new arena, and I was um, over in New York to watch the New Jersey Devils play for the first time live against New York. So they're kind of my NHL team.
Who is the Devils? I wonder if
Yeah,
they're playing the Islanders. I wonder if Kuhnhackl is playing because small world is the Islanders. That team you would have watched. Those are our fellas. Those are shed guys. We went right down after the games, mucked it up with them, got pictures with all of them. Colby got pictures with all sorts of Islanders that night, and they were all great with them. You could tell who's a shed guy though.
yeah,
Matt Martin is a shed guy for sure.
that must have been awesome.
It was, and we weren't. Kuhnhackl didn't even play that night, and we just bobbed our and weaved our way down there.
The result wasn't awesome. The Devils lost on a penalty shootout, but still, to see them play,
Yeah, they are quite good, aren't they? Those NHL players.
yeah, it's incredible how quick everything is.
Yeah, and organized and
Yeah,
skilled. Yeah.
yeah, and all round top athletes, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. They're good. Okay, then there's another picture of you at the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, that was in Nottingham. When it came to Nottingham
Oh, so you
before.
were there when GB won gold with all the shed guys?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, yeah, that was awesome. Like it's a it's a Disney movie
It is a
worthy, as
Disney
you
movie.
said. So just to see them go back up again, and just to see an international tournament in a country where hockey is not the most recognized sport was just
And
unbelievable.
then they win gold at home, right?
Yeah,
It's like how much coverage on TV are they getting when something like that happens? It's not enough, is it?
it's hardly anything
And
really.
that's embarrassing. Be better, you know?
Yeah, it's
You're winning gold on your home soil in the World Championships of ice hockey, and it's hardly on TV. And I'm watching Ben Bounds make kick saves over here when he's in the Division One. It's like, come
yeah,
on.
it's like people ask me or still ask me when I say I'm going to hockey games. They have hockey in they have hockey in England, and uh, uh, are you sure? Isn't that American? Isn't it? It's like
And
it's
and that's
definitely
the thing is the people in the UK, in the British, in the EIHL, the fans, the teams, the owners, the GMs, the coaches, everybody is as passionate about their team as any NHL team. And like that's how the whole shed works is that everybody is so passionate about their own team. And but it's also like a hockey family, you know?
yeah,
It's a
and I
good
think
culture over there.
yeah, it's you just have to look at the several charity things they've done over recent years, to
Well, there's
just
the charity stuff, but like also like I think people make cultures and like Jono being like the leader and captain of Team GB and like kind of like the EIHL too. Like they have the right people in the right positions for a long time to make hockey the way it was. Like Jono's the type of guy you could go out there and compete with, muck it up, give her, and then after give each other cheers and have a beer and have a chat about how the game was, and that's
Yeah,
hockey, you know?
yeah, like that's not a part you think about until I guess podcasts like this, and then it's just like, yeah, it's exactly what and it is, and it's how it's been described.
Yeah. Well, sometimes people just need to listen to me, right? I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And everybody thought I was the bad guy, for having fun too much. Now everybody's
it's
starting to
one of the
wake up.
best things about the pod, isn't it? Yeah, fun.
Okay. Anyways, next poster pick, I threw it on there of you playing ball hockey. So you guys are playing on the blue floor, the sport court. That's roller hockey floor.
Yeah, I can't shoot the ball off of it.
Yeah,
Like,
you're using a ball on that.
yeah,
So I always used the roller hockey puck on that floor, and I would run a muck and roller hockey. I did. Not gonna not gonna
it's
disagree.
it's too hard to get. It's too hard to get the ball. I know I'm a rookie, and I know I can improve at that. But it's just,
So you're just
you know,
using the orange ball on sport court.
yeah, yeah. It doesn't go well.
What kind of curve are you using?
I wish I knew what curve it was. It's like
Hmm.
I just went to a puck stop and they helped me out, and I have no idea what my curve is.
And I wonder if they did help you out. You know, Sometimes if people don't know how hockey, they can tell people how to hockey the wrong way. But
Maybe I'll send you a picture.
I think those orange balls, there's not much you can do. I played some ball hockey in the summer back when I could run, and you just kind of whack those. You can't aim those because when you shoot it hard, it curves, right?
Yeah, and they can hurt.
Yeah, that's why like shooting a puck doesn't curve. You can shoot those where they're supposed to go. Balls, you can't.
No, uh, but then I guess it would be an interesting challenge to see a nice hockey game played with an orange ball, wouldn't it? Just thinking that.
So that like actually interesting thing was a parent told me the other day that when they saw me coaching the gals last year that they said I was the most creative person on the ice they have ever seen or at Kincard minor hockey's ever had. And I thought, huh, that's funny. Because I tried to be creative as a player and they said that as me as a coach, but I've had the orange ball out to play hockey out there.
uh, I bet that has some interesting results.
Well, like for the girls, it was just to switch things up, right? Or I think I even might have done that with the boys, but it was just like the warm up to start practice, right? Like
Yeah,
scrimmage with an orange ball just to make it a little bit different and funner.
just because it changes it up a bit, doesn't it? And
Yeah, you got to try and make it fun, right?
yeah,
Can't always do the same old shit.
some coaches would get you to.
Some coaches do that, and it feels like old shit that you don't want to do, and then it's not fun. And then you don't
And
try
why?
as hard.
And I guess it's why am I doing this? I can already do this kind of thing,
That's yeah, yep, that makes sense too. Okay, anyways, who is the guy in the poster pics that you're sitting on the bench with as a kid and he's sitting with his feet up with his skates on and he's just eating a slice of pizza and you got your arm around him? He looks like a shed guy.
Yeah, his name's Andrew Sharp. He used to play for the Steelers, and
Andrew
that
Sharp, I've never heard of that guy.
uh, he played for the Steelers and Coventry. Uh, that particular picture was after a playoff final win on the bench, and
They had just won it all?
they just won the playoffs. Yeah,
Oh,
it was against
eating's
Nottingham.
cheating, buddy.
Yeah, but you've got to remember how old personally I was.
Yeah, so how old would you have been in there?
I was 8 or 9 when that picture was taken.
So is the Steelers just getting going at that point then?
No, it's been around since 1991.
1991. Geez, I'm getting old, eh?
I'm not
Or
going to say anything.
whatever. Yeah, did so here's a question. You wear shin pads when you're playing in ball hockey? Because
Not in.
I can just picture it right now. You've never played hockey before. You get a bunch of fellas out there like you with sticks, and you guys start mucking it up over a ball. I bet you there's some sore shins around that league.
Yeah, as I've not played a game yet, I don't know. Uh,
Oh boy, here we go. This is gonna happen.
so
Yeah,
that's going to probably be a baptism of fire in my first shift.
it's gonna be
But
like playing pond hockey with the Mennonites around here. You go out when you're in high school and play pond hockey with the Mennonite fellas. Those boys will whack your shins hard,
I'm putting
especially
I'm
if you
putting
start running amok.
I'm putting shin pads or guards on for the games, but not typically practice.
Yeah. Well, you might want to put the. I used to do it when I would play in a ball hockey league. Shout out to Adam Snyder who won the championship with me. But anyways, we needed shin pads because we start mucking it up out there, and boy, she could hurt when people start whacking you in the shins.
Yeah, it's an extremely hard ball for the size of it, isn't it?
It's yeah, well, like if you miss that ball or you're trying to get it, and then you're just if you get people that aren't that talented with their stick, they can whack people in the shins unintentionally.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
probably going to do that one at some point in the season.
I'm curious since you haven't played yet if there's going to be any fisticuffs, any mucking it up out there. You know?
I might answer the bell
Oh, really? You're
if
gonna start fighting now
if
too?
if, if,
If
if
you're six
they
seven and you start dropping the mitts, that's gonna spread around the league, and then
if they want
everybody's gonna want to go.
if they want to,
Is that
um,
right?
I don't particularly want to, but
Oh, it sounded like you were just calling out the whole league.
yeah, I don't particularly fancy it, but I don't think anyone else does.
Well, sometimes it's got to get done though, right?
Yeah, I wonder how many of the
You get
players
two, you get two teams in different jerseys and they're adults, and you start whacking people in the shins. And if you
super
start
competitive
whammying
as
people
well.
in the hips, man, things are gonna get escalated quickly.
It can sure do. Yeah,
Yeah, it happens in every hockey league all over the world, you know?
what makes it fun, right?
It is. Yeah, competing is fun. Okay. So anyways, I just can't picture it. There's gonna be a lot of sore shins. Um, but yeah, I got the next poster pic. You sent the pic of the Sheffield Arena, kind of lights dimmed out. So I'm guessing that's like the intro time. But it is an impressive barn, isn't it? It's big.
Yeah, it's home for me. It's where I feel.
And that's
Oh,
interesting because one that big, it would be for me. I like the big blue tent where it was so small. Everybody was like, "Well, you know who stands in that corner, and you know who stands at that blue line," and you'd be like, "Oh, you know the guy that stands at the red line over there. You know the guy that sits up there." And like when you get into your arena, it's like, man, there's too many people to know who's who around here, and then it would be a little more difficult to make it such a tight hockey family, right?
yeah, and I think if the team had moved venues like Cardiff have done into the new arena, I think it would have been different for me. But since I've been going to that arena
Raised there.
for 17 years, all the memories are there. All I've been for most of the recent banners. I've been there when they've won them, so it's
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is where it's at.
Well, and now I have great memories at the Sheffield Arena too. I have the Challenge Cup, but also now the the bike ride. That when Dave shows up and then Rich is there first, one of his first times out of the hospital, and then he gets two L's in Hockey Tales jersey, and it's like, well, that's winning. I don't care what game we're playing, but I know I'm winning.
I guess they mean more. I guess they mean different things to you,
Two
don't they?
totally different things. It's like one is just me talking to my shed, but then to see that like it's making fun happen around the world and like people might remember this stuff happening, whether everybody I don't have a marketing team really other than Jake, but that the people that do know what I'm doing, appreciate it. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, and that you're making a difference and changing the sport, right?
Right? That fun is fun, right?
Yeah, and the sport
And
definitely is.
Sheffield is part of my hockey family. And I think that's the people like Jono. That's the people like Simmsy likes to mix it up too and get things going. And
Yeah,
like that's what hockey's all about, you know?
absolutely. I feel like those two individuals kind of, you think of the Steelers, you think of for sure Jono
Yeah.
and Simmsey.
And you think of Simmsy. And you also think of Robert Dowd, that good looking Chad.
Definitely Robert Down. Now he's captain, but
Hmm.
even before that, yeah,
And we got a raffle at hockeytales.com, folks. But Simmsy is still the leading scorer of the shed. Both 2 episodes are the top 2.
I can kind of.
He probably needs a gosh darn penguin to skate.
I don't think he can. I'm sure. I don't know, but yeah, penguin.
I haven't seen him in skates, have you?
No, I want to see him on a
Hey
penguin.
Simsy, skate with the storm is this Saturday, bud.
He's probably coming up to Manchester though.
Bring your wheels, Simsy. I bet you they're blue. Throw the penguin in the boot. Let's go. If I
Could you
saw a
imagine?
picture of Simsy out wheeling around with the storm, that's hockey, right?
Yeah, could imagine, couldn't you?
Fun is fun, right? So I'm just thinking out loud to get out of the shed, folks. Don't listen to me, right? So did you ever go to any of the road games?
Um, I went to loads of road games before COVID, and then
What's your favorite barn?
Fife.
Yeah, it is. That's a barn, right?
Yeah, I
That's hockey.
I just love because it's so different to all the other rinks in the
But
league.
you almost kind of you know, like I like the movie Slapshot. I grew up on it.
Yeah,
And like when you play in a barn like that, you're like kind of feel like I'm like kind of in that movie. But then they come out in kilts and play that's hockey.
and it's also a rocking venue as well. What
Yeah.
their fans do to
Or
get
their
that
fans
place
really
going.
aren't very nice. You know,
I have a
they
few Fife people that I know, so I'm not going to agree
mm.
with you. So
Well, no, they weren't that bad. I just, you know,
yeah,
they could say mean comments. I believe it's called chirping.
yeah,
I guess they're good at it. Just a bit
I'm sure
angry.
you've chirped a few people in the past.
I'm not much of a chirper. I just go out and play the games. No. Yeah, I didn't really get into chirping that much unless people deserved it, and then I'd make sure that I let them
Yeah,
know what I thought.
you just said anything, so it worked.
I just tell them the truth. That, you know,
Yeah,
yeah, just tell them how big of a punk they're being, and that nobody's gonna respect them. You know. So has your new team? You're going in, so you've gotten through preseason, you could say. You're about to start the season. Has
yeah.
your team gone out for pints yet?
They have a couple of times. They're going out tonight. Um,
Well, you should get involved. It's the only way you can win. You have to drink
true.
beers together. It's part of the
Yeah,
game. I'm
yeah,
just telling you how to hockey. If you don't
yeah.
listen to me, you're not going to win.
Okay.
Drink
I'll
beers with your
I'll
teammates.
make sure I go for at least one tonight. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we're all pretty close, and we're all like a family. You'd say like we're all there for each other, which is the best thing about it.
That's awesome. And isn't it fun? So you started hockey and now you have a team. Being on a team is fun. It's like having a shed family.
Shed family is slightly better.
Shed family it's like it's life-changing stuff. But yeah, like then I get to go to the barn too and have like my team that I coach and like this is my
Yeah.
team and like we're just getting started at that. So are you
You
with your
get
team?
started with loads of things
Yeah.
all at once. It feels like
A lot of fun happen, right? Try and keep up, folks.
it's infectious fun as well.
It's it's I don't know. It's fun to be fun, right?
Fun to have fun. That's the reason I started playing this game. So
And now you have a team and you got people to go out for pints with tonight, right? And like
yeah,
that's one thing is like, you live in a small town and I have the kids and everything going on. It's like I don't have much opportunity to go out and really get to know a lot of people, but I can walk out to the backyard and just chat in my shed and I get to know people just as
yeah.
easy in here, right?
Whoever created Zoom's a genius, right?
One, it's wild, and there are other ones like it, but like then I watch a baseball playoff game over here the other night on TV, and like right on the mound it says sponsored by Zoom, and like you could tell like Zoom's doing just quite well, but I got no problem with that because they made all this happen. Thanks, Zoom.
Yeah,
Free ads, right?
yeah, just drop the Zoom free ads in. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You can sponsor me too, not just the MLB playoffs, right?
I'm surprised you haven't got more of a sponsor. To be fair, like the
Well, it's
outreach.
I'd have to call people. I'd have to have a sales team, and I don't do that. I'm not. If people want to be a part of the team, they can be part of the team. They just gotta let me know, right?
Yeah,
That's how it works.
yeah,
um, if you're on my team, you're on my team. If you're not, you're not.
understandable that really.
Right? Isn't that how the world should work? If you're on my team, you're on my team, and if you show me you want to be on my team, you're there. And if you don't, go fly a
Yeah,
kite.
you get the impression, don't you, straight
I
away.
right.
Yeah,
But the Fife Barn's your favorite, eh? So
yeah,
why did you go to Alaska? I saw something about you going to Alaska, and I went through the messages. We were talking about the Moose, the Manchester Storm Moose, Mikey, but you or something about mooses, and you've seen a moose in person. Why were you in
yeah,
Alaska to coach football, soccer?
yeah. That was when I was coaching soccer or football, and I got to go to Alaska for 5 weeks, and to during COVID to coach sport whilst I was obviously coaching. And Moose decided to come and have a look at what I was doing.
While you were coaching soccer.
Yeah, yeah. And the coach
I've,
next to me had stopped their session, and I was like, "Why have you stopped it?" I looked over to him, "What's going on?" And he just pointed, and I just looked where he was pointing, and there was a moose, and I was just like, "Good idea. Probably should move."
yeah. Well, moose would be scared of you, right? Aren't they like, or no, like they're not gonna come towards you.
No, but it's just when you've got players that you're looking after, you don't want to take any
Right.
risk. Right?
Yeah, you do get that dad vibe when you got a team of
Yeah.
people you're
Um,
taking care of. Around here, I've never seen a moose in person. I've never lived anywhere where there's gonna be a moose, but um, deer around here, I gotta dodge those all the time on my back roads.
I,
Turkeys.
I'd like to say we've got that stuff over here where I live, but we haven't. So all we have to dodge
Well,
is
there's you got a lot of people on that island, you know?
yeah, too many.
Yeah, we got more space for animals to be animals, you know?
Their habitats.
Right. So here's a cutting edge question. Prediction for the season. Who's gonna take it down? You're gonna go say orange. Go ahead. Just say it and then we can move on and then tell me who you really think.
Oh, you stitched me up there. Thank you. Obviously, as a Steeler, I
The
want all
Steelers
three.
do.
I want all three trophies.
Oh, you think you're gonna win the Grand Slam now?
I want all three, but I don't think we're. I still think we're going to be a better team this year, but I still think it's Belfast to
Really?
win the league because I think we've shown so far when we've played the bigger team. For example, like we lost to Cardiff, and it's all right beating Nottingham. We seem to do that every game we play them. So and surprisingly, I think Manchester might win either the Players or Challenge Cup.
Attaboy. Way to be involved. That's the way. There is
That's my
something special happening in Manchester, though. I don't know what it is, but maybe they got a cool new sponsor. But like, I got a message today that a person who hasn't watched the Storm since childhood is they went to a game earlier this season from listening to the pod, and it's I guess rekindled their love of the Storm, and then they just bought a ticket again for this weekend, and they're gonna go skating with the Storm. They're even taking their wheels, and it's like, man, there's a buzz around Manchester. I don't know if it's the chocolate, I don't know if it's the winning, or if it's all of the above, or it's fun.
Yeah, they've got a decent team. They've
They
got
do, and they're shed guys. And
yeah,
you know what? You can win with shed guys if even if they're not the super talented, super resume guys from all over Europe. If you get some character dudes with some sandpaper, look out, Girl Scouts.
Yeah, like good people win things, don't they? Like,
That's what I hope, you know.
yeah, it'll
Yeah,
be
and I do
interesting.
like about the league over there though is that there are three trophies that, if one team deserves to win all three, jeepers, you're the only team that got to have fun this year. But if it's a year where three teams win, I mean, like, look at us in Cardiff that year, 2014-15. Like, we left that season with like a feather in our cap. We won the Challenge Cup, and it didn't work out for us in the playoffs, and we didn't quite win the league, but we did have a night and memories as a championship team, right?
Yeah, and you stay in touch with each other, and that's what's probably helped you with the pod as well, isn't it?
Well, it's the same way as I coach now is you can either be teammates for a year or you can be friends for life, and
Yeah,
that's that's what you guys can decide what you want to do, but
totally their
we
decision,
may as
isn't
well make it as fun as we can and that, that you're always on each other's team. And it's like there's cultural things there that if you can get right and they know they have each other's backs, that shit lasts a lifetime.
it? Yeah, and it's obvious that Manchester have two shed guys high up in their organisation, so it's like Ginner knows how to find people.
Genner knows how to find the right people by the sounds of things and what I've seen in my shed. And I tell you, having the right captain, having the right leader of a team, that Crutch fella, and it's not just because I sponsor him.
Yeah,
Like that guy gets life, he gets hockey, he gets how to be a teammate, he gets how to be a leader, and he's just being himself. And like those are the type of people I wanted to play for. I was never the captain, but if that guy was my captain, I bet you we'd be a hell of a team.
yeah. Like Critchlow he's a player that stands out to other teams in the league, and I quite like him as a player as well.
And I bet he even made a bit of appearance on the national team there last year. And it's like, bet you that guy could have gone to some of those, as you call them, bigger teams. But
Yeah,
because of what they're trying to build in Manchester, and because he's a shed guy, because Ginner's a shed guy, because Finner is there running it and knows how to hockey, like that's why he would stay and say, well, let's try and make what we can out of Manchester. And I'm fully on board with that. Let's do this, right? That fun
yeah.
is fun.
You secretly with GB have all the players from all these different teams, and you're secretly rooting for every single one of the players when they're in GB. But you're also looking at what they're doing in their teams in every game that's not against Sheffield.
Well, that's how this whole shed works. That's how hockey works. It's like when I played Sheffield years ago and I saw those guys and I play against them, and then you kind of follow along as how they're doing and whatever. And then like I played against a lot of guys over the years, and like y'all kind of know each other and follow each other, and then that's how the shed works, right? And you
Yeah,
know who were punks out on the ice, and you know who you respected. And the shed guys I have on are the guys I respected on the ice. And we all knew we were out there competing and mucking it up and just having fun. And we were doing it for the love. And all of us have to work after hockey, right?
and all the punks don't get a sniff, do they?
Well, no, they're not shed guys, right?
Yeah,
Right. And like it's like I that's one thing I can look back on now is like when I came back to Canada with my tail between my legs and all that and didn't know what to do with life or how to support my family and all that shit is like to think of all these guys behind me on the posters, to think of Lee Freeman that makes all the posters, Sean Collins that does the website, Neil Parker that helped me get all these jerseys made to have raffles
yeah,
and that I could sponsor the Storm. Um, like it's a hockey family that I don't think many people have, and it's pretty fucking neat.
yeah. They all want to be part of it. Like obviously, I've listened to that many episodes. It's like you've got players that you have said that have said to them thanks for that because they're actually getting to relive what who they are, right?
Well, and there's so many different chats to have in the shed. The current players, there are some guys that get it and know how important they can be to kids and all of that, and understand how fortunate they are to be playing a game for a living. Then there's some guys that are just going through it and they don't realize what they're doing and how fortunate they are. And I was kind of one of those guys. Um, and then like I didn't realize how special it was that I was one of the guys that got to go to Germany and have one of those spots. And there's not many of those spots in the world. Um, but then you talk to the guys that are out of the game that like have been retired for a decade, that like they buried it like I did when I got back. And like nobody around here wants to hear about how great of a hockey player I was or how many championships I won. But like if I have all my buddies, we can talk about it on here. And I found a platform where we can be ourselves. They get to relive who they were, and I get to be that guy that gets to facilitate that fun. And that's exactly what I'm all about.
And you get to have the fun as well, don't you?
I sure do, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I can't thank my real world enough, my real job, because like they know what I'm doing. They know like I don't hide anything, and I know I get the job done there too. And you work hard and then you play hard, right?
yeah. Even if you have to compromise a little bit at the start of some podcasts.
Yeah, I did might have lost my groove there in the intro, eh?
Okay, yeah. I'm surprised you had such a great intro of the little bit of research that's available on me and hockey. So
Yeah. No, you're just getting started, and it'll be fun to hear about your season and how the Knights do. And I mean, this is what it's all about: is finding out a guy's joining hockey at 25 years old. You get to be part of a team. You get to go out for a pint tonight with your squad, and that's hockey, you know. And if you go out for a pint with your squad tonight, I want to shed guy selfie with the squad. Okay, everybody have
okay,
smashing a pint together because that's
yeah.
hockey.
And I have to drive home, so it'll be a pint of something other than alcohol. But yeah,
Can you not have one over there?
I don't drink, so that's gonna be a challenge.
You don't drink, so then don't drink, and then just have a normal drink
Yeah,
with your squad.
yeah. It's gonna be one at least. One. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the same with the other hockey teams. Is like there are guys that don't drink in hockey, and it's like that's cool, but like you still got to be a part of this. You still got to
Yeah.
come.
You're still part of the team,
You
aren't
don't
you?
have to be there all that long, and it's like Mark Richardson ain't gonna drink like I am, but we were both,
Yeah.
teammates, and we were there, and it's like you don't have to drink to do what I do. It's like everybody can do whatever they want. And it's like, but he was always there. He was always part of it.
Yeah. It's you don't want to like exclude yourself. So that's and you want to be part of something. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome to the sport, sir. I know you've been a
Thank
fan for
you.
a while of the Orange team, but if
Yeah.
if if you're going to Manchester Saturday, you can take chocolate in case the Storm earn it.
I've got to find out what chocolate my team like just to slip them on that Saturday, and don't I?
Fun's banned there, sir. Can't throw
Yeah,
chocolate.
it was
Not
the
allowed. Fun's not allowed.
yeah, unfortunately.
It's been a fun story though through the Shed's history, hasn't it? It's like there's hockey history and now there's Shed history of like, you know, like what if the arena didn't complain about the chocolate the night of Kit Kat get that? I heard Kit Kat was talking about sponsoring the Steelers. Imagine if that would have happened through all this. And like, imagine how many Steelers I may be having on if all of that happened. Instead, they banned fun. Then all of a sudden, Critchlow mucks it up, beats the Storm. The first chocolate storm ever happens. Now all of a sudden, I'm a sponsor of the team.
Yeah,
History, hockey history. It's fun.
it's funny. One particular thing that made me laugh on one of the pods um was it Matt Caruth who had his chocolate coming out of his backside like a fake him. Did I
Oh
hear that right?
yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a cardboard cutout of him in Herning, Denmark, and he's in the lobby, and they sell Twix out of his keister.
It's crazy. As I mentioned to you, we've got the same birthday, so
Do you imagine if like I never would have started this? Like how much fun has happened? Like what would I be doing? How would I entertain myself?
Yeah, I wouldn't be here.
No. Yeah, I'd be interesting. I'd be
Yeah,
bored.
you find something though, I'm sure.
Yeah, you gotta stay busy. You gotta keep having fun, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Well, thanks for coming on. Don't get in too many fights this year when you whack people in the shins, eh?
I'll try and keep my stick down. Cross checking is my thing that I don't that I'm
Whammies.
doing.
Whammies. Don't get
Yeah,
too high. If you get high with the cross check, they call it. You gotta stay low. Get it in the hips. You're
apparently
six
I'm quite,
seven. You know what? The refs are gonna be watching you. You better be careful with the cross checks. And if you're doing it, everybody's gonna be watching you. So you're the one that's gonna have to be most careful with your stick. The little fellas, we could do whatever we want. Nobody was watching. You you still there?
yeah. Like my coach was saying to me, watch the cross checks. I didn't even know I was checking the other night. Like,
Well, that's the thing. At 6'7", people are gonna see what you're doing with your stick. People are gonna be watching you just because of the size. Telling you.
yeah, I stick out them to so
Well, that's how it works when you're 6'7" in hockey. When you're the little fellow, they're like, "Oh, hopefully nobody hurts him."
yeah,
Right? And then when they turn around, you're gonna whack the guy.
yeah. I find that the smaller players are the more feistier player.
Well, you have to be, or else you don't survive.
Feisty or die, is it out there?
Well, I mean, if you're a soft small guy, good luck. It's
Yeah,
funny because if there are a lot of people that would call me soft in my career, and I was like, I don't feel soft. I don't
yeah.
understand. I know my low back's soft, but other than that, I don't understand why people call me soft because I have no problem doing whatever. And for some reason, because I was small, people would call me soft. It's like, well, just because you're big doesn't make you tough, you know?
No, yeah. Just because yeah. And just because you're tall doesn't make you tough either.
Right? It's very true. And like, there's 6'7" guys like yourself that, well, just because they're 6'7" doesn't mean they like fighting.
No, I don't
Eh,
like it. But
well, you may have to find out if you don't control your stick out there.
yeah, I've already witnessed that in practice.
Well, good luck with everything. It was great getting to know you today. I gotta get back to the real world. And this has been another episode of Two L's and Hockey Tales with Mather and Wally.